I am not exaggerating when I say that everything in my life changed when I learned about chakras. I had heard the term a few times before, but honestly, I thought it was silly. Like, how are there energy centers in our body and they swirl and they have different colors? In my mind, I was like, I went to school. I learned about the human body. We have organs and bones and muscles and stuff. There's definitely not colored balls of energy in there. But what made me take it more seriously was one day in June 2024, I got a chakra reading from a machine. That led me to believing in chakras, to actually seeing them myself in meditation and opening them up myself. And then I started getting visions and healing a mass in my breast and an ovarian cyst using what I learned about chakras. So in this video, I'm going to share my personal chakra reading, explain what chakras are, how they work, and why having a balanced flow of energy between the chakras is important to being healthy, both physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And at the end, I will explain a little bit about how energetic imbalances led to physical issues and how I healed them using my knowledge of chakras. Also, I apologize in advance for my not so great drawing. I will probably be working on it because of my YouTube channel. But let me start with my personal chakra reading. During that time, I had just gone through a breakup and my grandma had just died, so I was very sad. I felt like everything was going wrong in my life, nothing was working, nothing made sense, everything sucked. Little did I know that was the start of my spiritual awakening. So one day that month, my friend invited me to a women's entrepreneurial event, and there were vendors with tables offering free things related to their business and services. So one of the vendors was like an energy healer, chakra balancing, Reiki healer type of person or business. And she had a machine where you can literally put your finger in and it reads your energy, your chakras from your finger. From that, it generates a model of your chakras in your body and like where they are at that time. I was so skeptical and I wanted to do it just to disprove it. But it showed me exactly how I was feeling. And I watched a bunch of people go after me just to see if it would repeat the same reading over and over again. But everyone had different readings. And it corresponded with how those people were feeling in their lives. Like my friend did it and it corresponded with how she was feeling in her life. So I know that it was an accurate reflection of her state of being at that time. It was crazy. So I found my chakra reading in my emails and I'll put it up here so you can see. But you can see how everything was just not aligned at the center of my spine, which is how it should be, or how a well-functioning chakra system should be. And I mean, it was true because in my life, I felt like everything was off. Even if it wasn't off by a lot, everything was off. So it just felt like my whole life was off. Also, the size and location of the chakras matter. Like if they're in the left side or right side of the body. The left side is considered like the feminine side and the right side is considered the masculine side. And we have both. We have both masculine and feminine energies within us, all of us, even if you're like a female or a male. So you can see the imbalance there. And if it's big, it means it's more open. If it's small, it means it's less open or just like less used. So you can see how like some of my chakras were bigger, some were smaller, and they were all on the left side of my body. I was just very in my feminine energy at that time. I'll probably make another video going deeper into like feminine energy and masculine energy because I do think it is important, especially in this day and age with all the things going on in the world. We need to know how to use both. We all have both. We need to embrace both. Anyway, what are chakras? Chakras are energy centers in our body that give, receive, store, and channel energy in our body. There are lots of chakras in our bodies, like our hands and feet also have them, but there are 7 main ones, which are the root chakra, the sacral chakra, the solar plexus, the heart chakra, the throat chakra, the third eye chakra, and the crown chakra. They are all located, or should be located, in the middle of the spine going up. Let's go through them one by one. So the root chakra is located at the base of your spine and it relates to the physical, earthly, 3D part of you. It represents safety, grounding, stability, and security. The root chakra is represented by the color red, and when I see this in meditation, I like to say, I am safe. Next, we have the sacral chakra. This is located a little bit below the navel or belly button. It's connected to the reproductive organs, so it's all about sexuality, sensuality, pleasure, and emotions, along with creativity. Sexual or sensual energy is oftentimes related to creative energy because it is literally an area that creates new life. But it also relates to being or feeling nurtured. The sacral chakra is represented by the color orange. And when I see this in meditation, I like to say, I am creative or I am nurtured, whatever fits my mood or what I need at that time. Next is the solar plexus, which is located just below your ribcage. It's a little bit hard to see, but it says solar plexus. And this is all about your personal power, your self-confidence, your self-esteem, your willpower. And when it's open and aligned, it means you feel a sense of belonging. You have the belief that you can make things happen. You feel brave and courageous, and the color is yellow. So when I see this in meditation, I like to say, I am powerful. Now let's go to the heart chakra. This is located in the middle of your chest, and it's all about love. And this love is not necessarily romantic love. It can be, but it's more about unconditional love, divine love, compassion, acceptance, empathy, that kind of love. This chakra is all about how we relate to others in the world. So other humans, animals, trees, any living being, any being with energy, which is everything. So the more we love others, the more we love ourselves, the more we feel loved, the more open this chakra will be. Also, the heart chakra is important because it is in the middle. It's the middle point between these lower three chakras and the upper three chakras. So if the heart chakra is blocked or it's just not functioning well, the flow of energy in your entire body is just not going to be well either. The energy won't be able to get through. And it is the connection that we have to the more spiritual realms, like God, source, spirit, the universe, whatever you believe in. It talks to us through our heart chakra versus the ego or the brain, for example. And the heart chakra is represented by the color green, like fresh green grass. When I see this chakra in meditation, I like to say, I am love. I am love. I am love itself, because it's true and we all are. Next is the throat chakra. Located in the middle of your throat, this represents communication, self-expression, and truth. So having a well-functioning, open throat chakra means that you communicate your feelings well, you express yourself well. You express your true, authentic self. In day-to-day life, this is important for any kind of relationship. However, if you are someone that uses their throat chakra a lot in work, like a musician, a writer, a content creator, for example, this is very important to have a open, well-functioning, healthy throat chakra. And this chakra is represented by the color blue, more like a sky blue. And when I see this in meditation, I like to say, I speak truth. Next is my personal favorite chakra, the third eye chakra. And this is located right between your eyebrows. It's called the third eye chakra because it allows you to see things that your physical eyes cannot see. It allows you to see into the higher realms and dimensions. So when I get visions, this is where I see them, like in my third eye, and I see it, it's like energetic. It's like seeing a dream, but you're awake. But it's all about intuition and higher wisdom, and having a healthy, well-functioning third eye chakra means that you have a great relationship with your intuition and the spiritual realm. It's represented by the color indigo, which is a mix between like blue and purple. And when I see this in meditation, I like to say, I see all. And last but definitely not least is the crown chakra. This is the last or highest chakra in the third dimension. There are more chakras in higher dimensions, but in this video, we're only talking about the main 7 3D chakras. And it's located at the top of your head. This is all about connection to the divine, to God, to source, to spirit, the universe, whatever it is you believe in. It's the divine. And having an open, well-functioning crown chakra means you're able to connect to all that is. You can channel divine energy into your body and receive messages, receive divine guidance. When I see this in meditation, I like to say, I am. Just, I am. Because at this level, you are almost in the higher dimension. You're able to see all the things in the third dimension, but you're so connected to higher realms that you're able to see that we are all connected. We are everything. We are actually everything. So that's why I say I am. And I see this as more of a magenta color, like a hot pink, but some people see it as purple or violet or white. So there you have it. These are the 7 main chakras in our body. Also, you know how I was confused before about where chakras fit in like your physical human body, like the organs, bones, muscles, that kind of thing? Well, the biological human body that we learned about in school is that, it's physical. But something they don't teach us in school is that we also have an energetic body that includes these energetic things like chakras and auras. We also have light bodies. And if you get even deeper into this, into spirituality, or should I say like higher up, we don't even have a body at all. We are just pure consciousness. This is where the quantum field comes in. Everything is just pure potential, pure possibility. Anything can happen depending on the identity you choose to be in the quantum, and it manifests into the 3D. I talk a little bit more about different dimensions in my video about why we're always manifesting if you want to go a little bit deeper into that. I'll have it linked in this video or in the description if you're interested. So now let's go into a little bit more about how chakras work. Chakras give and receive energy or information. And I think this is super important to understand. Energy is information. Energy is our first language. Energy is given and received through the flow of energy between the chakras and also from the external environment. I talk a lot about chakras being open or closed, and what I mean is that they have funnels that are open or closed to energies. I'll show you a picture on the screen since I don't think my drawing capabilities will allow for this. So for example, the root chakra has one opening to the earth, so it opens down into the earth. So it can receive earth energies, grounding energies. Then the sacral, solar plexus, heart, throat, and third eye chakras have openings in the front and in the back so they can receive energies from both sides. And the crown chakra has one opening towards the sky so that it can receive energies from the divine. Anytime you get good vibes or bad vibes or vibes of any kind, you feel it. It comes with so much information about how to feel about it. Is it safe? How you should take action? Like, have you ever seen or passed by someone with super good energy and you just want to go up and talk to them? Or they just bring the whole mood in the room up? That's your chakras receiving energy, good energy from that person, and you just want to spend more time with them. On the other hand, have you ever passed by someone with bad energy or spent time with them? Maybe it gives you goosebumps or sends chills down your spine, or you just feel like you want to get away from that person. Like no, get away. I'll give you an example of when I felt really bad negative energy and I literally had to run away. So I visited the Dachau concentration camp in Germany, and one of the buildings that you can go into is the camp prison. It was just a long building, and in it, there were just jail cells on either side and just a hallway in between them. As I walked in, I immediately felt heavy. So I kept walking down the hall and I just kept feeling like more intense fear. Like I was having physical reactions to it. My heart was beating faster. My breath was getting shallower. I was starting to hyperventilate. It was just such intense negative energy. Like I wanted to scream. And I ran out of there, literally just ran. So the energy that my chakras were receiving in that place was just bad negative energy, like run, this is not safe, this is not where you should be, you need to get out of here. And that was before I went to the gas chamber. So I was thinking, if I felt that terrible in the prison, I'm worried how I'm gonna feel like when we get to the gas chamber part of it. But when I got to the gas chamber building, I was very surprised because the energy was very different. They had done so much work to transmute the energy there. Like, they had planted so many trees and flowers. There were birds chirping. It was kind of like a meadow. It was just like sunny and bright and sunshine. I think I saw a bird bath there, and there were birds like bathing in the bird bath. So I was very pleasantly surprised because the energy was not of fear. I was feeling an energy of hope, love, respect, protection from all the people that had been there before, like paying their respects or working to transform that area into something better. It was just such a different experience. I just want to know, I'm just talking about this more from an energetic perspective, like the different frequencies of energy that I was feeling at that time when I was there. So it just goes to show that energy does exist. You can feel it. Energies can linger in a place if there's no new energy that comes in to change it or transmute it. This is why cleaning your home makes you feel better. By the way, I want to introduce myself in case we haven't met yet. Hi, I'm Grace. My channel is all about spirituality, energy, and consciousness, and how it relates to our daily life. So if you're interested in these topics, make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel so you can get more videos like this. Let's get back into it. Now that we know what chakras are and how they work, let's talk more about how they relate to our everyday life. So when you have healthy, open, well-functioning chakras, the energy moving through your body looks more like this. So we get energy from the divine, and it goes through our body like this. It's able to circulate. It's able to go out of our body when it needs to go out. It's able to come in when you need more energy, and it's able to go through each of these chakras to help in all the different areas of your life. And with the root chakra, it opens down into the ground, so you can actually receive earth energy, grounding energy. And there's a balanced flow coming from the spiritual realm and the earth, so you are a grounded, balanced human being. Everything feels aligned and smooth. So in this instance, you're receiving intuitive hits, you get gut feelings, you get divine guidance, and just a sense of being on the right path. At the same time, you also feel a sense of being grounded and safe and secure in yourself and the world from this earth grounding energy. So there's a great connection between earth and spirit. However, when the chakras are not functioning well, two things can happen. Energy can either get stuck or leak out. Let's talk about stuck energy first. This happens when you do things like bottle up your feelings, repress your emotions, avoid things, or dissociate from things. Even if you don't think about it anymore, if you haven't processed the events that happen in your life and the associated emotions, that energy can still remain in your body. Think of the example from the camp prison that I went to. And if the unprocessed events are still stuck in your body, sometimes your chakras will close or get smaller because they're not being used. Like, there's no energy moving through them. So it's not allowing anything in or out. I want to give you an example that I have actually seen in my life on another person. And of course I didn't tell them, but I was very surprised that I saw it. So I saw kind of like black tendrils coming from the sacral chakra up to the heart chakra, and kind of like enveloping the heart chakra with that blackness. So it was something like this. Yeah. It was something like that, and it was blocking the flow of energy between the heart chakra and the sacral chakra. So because this is coming from the heart chakra, that's all about love, and the sacral chakra, that's also about feeling nurtured and sometimes sexual, sensual energy. So this can mean issues with feeling nurtured, things stemming from mother-child relationships, and can potentially manifest as reproductive issues. I want to give another example of a blockage within the third eye, because this can happen a lot. So maybe there's something like covering it. Maybe your crown chakra is open and you are receiving energy from the divine, but because there's a blockage in the third eye, that energy is not going down. So maybe there's like only a little bit that goes down. And then you're just not receiving it. Like you're not able to act on this divine guidance because it's not reaching your throat. You can't speak your truth. It's not reaching your heart or whatever it is. This can just mean issues with the ability to receive divine guidance or spiritual guidance on your own. Because the thing is, everyone has connection to the divine. That's who we are. We are spiritual beings. We are the divine. We have connections to multiple dimensions. And this is just the way to receive that energy. But as you can see, even if you only have an issue with one chakra, like the third eye chakra, it affects all of the other chakras. Stuck energy within the chakras can be fixed by becoming aware of the block and learning and understanding why the block is there in the first place. And then receive the message and change whatever it is that you need to change. You can do chakra healing or balancing meditations to help with this. You can also visualize in meditation, sending the divine energy into the various chakras that need help, and imagine that light enveloping that chakra or filling that chakra, and just imagine that chakra expanding and opening. So now let's talk about leaky energy. This is the opposite problem. This usually happens when someone has little boundaries or no boundaries. They could be soaking up a lot of energy from the external world that may not be good for them, or they could be giving too much energy away to try and achieve a certain outcome. Many people that have leaky energy are empaths who haven't learned to protect their energy, or they could be people pleasers that depend on external validation and reassurance to feel safe or good enough or okay. So I'll draw an example of leaky energy. Imagine that all these chakras are working well. This person has energy from the divine. They are receiving energy from the divine. But as soon as it comes in, let's say it gets leaked out. As soon as it comes in, it gets leaked out. It gets leaked out. So they're not holding that energy within their body. They're not using that energy for themselves. Whatever they receive, they give. People that have this kind of leaky energy are usually tired often because they are literally giving their energy away all the time and not storing a lot for themselves. For example, if it's coming in, but it's being leaked from the heart chakra and the sacral chakra, that can mean that this person is giving a lot of their power and energy away in relationships. It doesn't have to be just romantic relationships. It could be like a mom that has kids and has to take care of a lot of things around the house, and she's just doing a lot of things for the kids and her partner that she's just not keeping a lot of energy for herself or resting enough for herself. If a person is leaking a lot of energy from their solar plexus, it can mean that they're not very confident. They could have low self-esteem and they could be doing a lot of things for show. Like they're leaking a lot of energy out to show, to make up for this lack of confidence. In a healthy or well-functioning chakra system, the energy remains in the body and it doesn't get leaked out. It radiates out versus being poured out. Think of a radiator versus a space heater. A space heater is literally pushing out so much air to make the whole room warm, whereas a radiator still gives off heat, but that heat just slowly radiates out. And the closer you get to that radiator, you can feel it. But if you're far on the other side of the room, it may take more time because it's not pushing its energy out, if that makes sense. So leaky energy also has a similar solution to stuck energy. Leaky energy can be fixed by realizing why you are pushing your energy out in the first place. What is the cause of it? What is the cause of you giving your energy away so freely? And resolve that problem in life with the people related to it, with the environment related to it, and then have clear boundaries going forward. People with leaky energy would benefit from doing energy protection exercises like closing your auric field or cleansing your auric field. I'll talk more about this in another video because there's a lot to talk about there as well. So now that we've covered the basics of what chakras are, how they work, and why they might not be working so well, I'll share a quick story of how I healed my physical issues using my knowledge of chakras. So once I learned that my chakras were not aligned, some were smaller or weaker than others, and they were all like on the left side of my body, I started by just listening to the guided chakra balancing meditations on YouTube. And eventually I was able to just see it and do it myself until all of my chakras were aligned. Then I was just doing it periodically to maintain my chakra system. Then 1 month I got an ovarian cyst and I felt a mass in my breast. And I knew, like I intuitively knew that something was wrong, something was not right. But I went to the doctor and got it checked, so that's how I knew exactly what it was. But I also knew about energy healing. So I just started intuitively healing this while I was meditating. I was just imagining divine light coming in through my crown chakra and going to the specific areas that was unwell and enveloping that area in like divine golden light and just visualizing that it was healing and kind of just like seeing or feeling or believing that it was healed. So that was like one thing that I did, but at the same time I would channel this divine light into my body, but also through my hand chakras. I created like a ball of energy, like a ball of golden divine energy, and I would just place it on different areas of my body, just visualizing that this light was healing me. Seriously, within 1 month, the ovarian cyst was gone, and my OBGYN was super surprised. She was like, that doesn't usually go away this fast. And with the mass, within like a few months, I got an ultrasound again just to check, and there was nothing there, which is really crazy. Like, that doctor was also very surprised that within a few months, a mass was there and then it was not there. But I want to note that I use both like regular doctors and energy healing methods because I just want to be safe. You know, I feel like I do my energy healing practices to heal myself, to maintain my body, but then I use the regular doctors just to verify or validate or confirm that everything is well. I'm in the middle of editing and I just realized that I forgot to talk about how the energetic imbalances led to my physical issues. And there's a lot of reasons for this, but pretty much it was because I still had some stuck emotions and trauma that was in my body, and it just manifested as a physical symptom in order to tell me a message. I'll go deeper into this in another video because there's just a lot to unpack there. So there you have it. This is, I think, a quick, simple explanation of chakras and how it channels energy in and out of the body. But there is so much more to learn. And if you like this video, make sure to watch my other video about how I manage my emotions and energy to stay happy. Let me know in the comments if this was helpful, or if you have any other questions, or if you want to share like energy healing stories. I would love to hear that. Bye!